sunshine.
And I would also like to tap upon another point that you mentioned. You know, for the whole salo say, people say that, oh, if you're not feeling well, talk to someone, talk to your friend, talk to your parents. Parents still fine, they know you inside out and they don't even bring any judgments, which is mostly helpful. But please tell us about why should we choose people before we share those inner layers of our troubles?
Very good question. I think I would say let people know that you're feeling a bit different. I just want to be on my own, for example. Having said that, what you should not do, which is something we all of us do, and it is something I feel passionately about, is people go out and put a Facebook post and ask thousands of random people on, hey, this is my issue with my mother-in-law, what should I do?
Yeah,
The reason
happens.
is exactly, and the reason why you should not do that is because if you're talking to your friends have a lot of bias against you. So they're not going to be able to look at that situation neutrally.
Yeah.
Second is obviously those friends might carry judgments. I don't know if you want to be concerned about that or not. But the third most important thing is people will give solutions to your problem depending on what circumstances they've gone through.
Yes.
Which
correct.
is unique to everyone, right? No two people can have had the same life path. So what someone would give a resolution is depending on what they understand. Would it work for you? Maybe not.
Can't say. Yeah.
And I've seen so many people actually causing more damage than solutions by talking to people who are not medically trained to actually help you come up to a solution.
If as a certified therapist and relationship counselor, you were to give 3 tips for a healthy couple relationship, what would that be?
For sure. The first thing that I would say is everyone should in their core remember that the other person is a unique individual.
Yeah.
They've had their own life journey up to that stage. They've had a certain sort of an upbringing. They've had a different kind of exposure in their life. And so the way they're going to think and their likes and dislikes, everything is going to be different. So it is very inappropriate for you to try and change the other person and have them to become a clone of you.
Yeah.
So accept their difference and accept them the way they are. Because every time you would want to change the other person, you're just going to create a lot of resistance in the relationship. The second thing is we at times assume that our partner should know what is it that we like. And I think it takes a lot of courage, but if you're able to imbibe this in your relationship, it can only flourish, which is at any point in time, you want to feel special. You want to get princess treatment. You want someone to bring a gift to you. Let your partner know. Do not assume that they would know, and if they don't do it, then you feel bad and you don't feel special. Communicate to them that, hey, I would really like and I would feel special if you get a cake on my birthday. Hey, I would really like if we could go for a vacation this year. Instead of you just waiting, it not happening, you feeling bad and then getting into an argument stage. And the third tip is that even if you have a partner, always remember that relationship is a part of your life and should not become your life. So have your own individual hobbies, have your own friend circle, do things independently, because at times being farther away just creates better environment at home and just creates that longing for the partners for each other.
Yeah. So that was a very good one, and I somehow call it do not keep all your eggs in one basket philosophy, I mean.
Yeah.
So if you're a lady, if you're a woman, ensure you have friends around, you have some kind of passion that you want to follow, dancing, gym, any classes. If you are a man, do your duties, but at the same time play cricket, have 100%. A gang of boys, or travel. So yeah, that's very well put across, because distraction helps.
Having your own girlfriends or having your own guy friends for boys. It just is amazing, and you should go ahead and foster those relationships in your life.
That's beautiful. All Also, Vijeta, please share some tips for raising healthy children, like a nice relationship between parents and children.
I think the first thing that you will have to remember is they are going to have a personality of their own. So do not try to make them as you. They might want to dress up, in a very different way than what your definition of dressing up is. Have them explore those options, because that is going to make their individuality come out. They'll be able to understand themselves better. That's the first thing. Second is, never ever compare your child to some other child, because at every time you're comparing, you're actually letting your child know that they are not good enough. This creates a lot of self-esteem issues, and a low self-esteem is one of the reasons for why a lot of children go in directions that we would not want our children to go. Third is, always remember, you and your child are in the same team.
Yes.
So the world is a cruel place. You should always be their safe space. That does not matter what is happening. Now, how do you create that safe space is entirely up to you. But make sure at no point in time are you creating a situation where they feel going home is going to be more troublesome and they prefer to stay out. Whatever that takes to create that environment. And can I give a bonus tip?
Of course.
My bonus tip is that these are 3 instances in your day-to-day life that you should be extra careful on how you are communicating with your children. First is when they wake up in the morning, because we all know how the day starts decides the rest of the day. So make sure you're not panicky, you're not angry, and you're not telling them to rush. So have a very nice morning ritual. Similarly, have a very nice bedtime ritual, because the time when just few minutes or some time before someone falls asleep is a time that they are really thinking about life and how their day went. And if you thrash a child just before their bedtime and then they go and sleep, they're going to process those things in a very negative light, and they're obviously not going to have a good sleep, which is very important again to have a healthy child. And third is when they're coming from school, because you don't know what they've gone through in their school, the kind of bullying, the kind of comparison, the kind of stress they may have gone through. Don't bombard them with a lot of questions, expectations, or anything which is unpleasant for them. So these 3 times of the day, you got to be extra careful.
Okay, so Vijeta, एक आम आदमी, whenever we think about counseling or getting therapy, first we have to look at our pockets. So people think, and I've heard from so many people, counseling, mental health, these specialized services are very expensive. What are your thoughts on that?
They're expensive because the change that they bring in is massive. First is that.
Right.
Now I'll give you an example and you can decide what is more expensive, okay? Someone had a breakup and they spent 5 years grieving that relationship. They came up with their own logics of why it happened. They stayed in that loop and withdrew themselves from the whole world. Their work impacted in those 5 years. So they missed a promotion that they could have got. Were they physically present at work and not grieving that relationship? They lost a lot of friends along the way because they did not want to go out and spend time with them. One of those friends could have brought you an opportunity to better your life. You lost your family or the connection with the family. You gained or lost a lot of weight, and now you're needing medical attention and spending a lot of money going to specialists and GPs, so on and so forth. So there's so much more that you can go through when you are in the engulf of that mental health issue, which actually may hinder your ability to earn a whole lot of money. Whereas if you were to take that help, you could have probably recovered in 6 months or 1 year and felt normal and done much better and progressed in your life for the remaining 4 years.
Okay, Vijeta, thank you very much. Thank you for being a part of Koshish by Divya. And to my lovely viewers, I'm pretty sure today you have taken some insights, some details about things that we don't talk about openly, but I'm very sure that in your day-to-day life, just even thinking about what we discussed today is going to be of some help to you. On that note, please subscribe and follow my Instagram and YouTube page to stay in touch with more information and celebrate the local talent that we have. Take care. Thank you for watching.